Mr. Sharma, we were discussing how this is an ambitious timeline, especially because we do not know yet what Syria will declare. But do you think, from the Syrian point of view, will that country be treated fairly if they happen to miss the 2014 deadline, because despite their best efforts, because there are a number of issues involved, as Dr. Awad says, there are huge costs involved?
No, that's true. Well, they should. If they don't get fair deal, there will be no movement. It's as simple as that. If the UN system, the UN members, particularly the Security Council members, they are interested that yes, these chemical weapons should be destroyed, then there is no alternative to giving fair deal and taking the Syrian government along. There is no alternative to that. Without that, the process wouldn't go forward. They have done their bit by signing the convention. The main difficulty actually would come from the fact that you have a large number of rebel groups. If it is 1, 2, 3, you can manage some kind of a coordination.
Right.
Now here the number, as our colleague Zakir Hussain was mentioning, is so large. And with completely different ideological orientations.
Right.
From leftist to Al-Qaeda. You have these kind of orientations amongst the rebel groups. Whether any kind of coordination that they would be able to take a unified position, which at the moment I'm very pessimistic, that they would be able to take a unified position. That if they don't, will the international community give importance and prominence to that group?
Of course, we'll discuss the humanitarian crisis as well as the political solution to the Syrian crisis in just a bit. We have to take a break in the program. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Public Forum. We are discussing the crisis in Syria as an advanced team of international inspectors has reached that country to begin overseeing the destruction of its chemical weapons. Dr. Awad, if we could now focus on the humanitarian crisis in Syria, we know over millions have been killed, 2.5 million have been displaced. In fact, the UNHRC has just been presented with a report some 2 weeks back which has detailed widespread war crimes and crimes against humanity in Syria. What do you have to say about the kind of humanitarian crisis we are seeing there? Because these are atrocities that seem deliberate in nature, and these are the crimes that have been committed by conventional weapons.
Well, absolutely. I think this is the biggest tragedy in the history of mankind, of Syrian crisis in the 21st century, if we can put it this way. I mean, I haven't seen the amount of atrocities has been happening in Syria. I have covered the war from Jaffna up to Iraq, and I've traveled all for the last 3 decades, and I haven't seen this much of destruction, killings, slaughtering of people, and destroying the infrastructure of a country in a very systematic manner that it has been carried out by forces, by external players which have already funded from Saudi and Qatar. More than $10 billion have been spent. Had it been this money spent on Syria, I think Syria would have been much more modernized and more industrialized and a secular country.